Today's interview is taking you on a field trip. We are going to about 30 minutes outside of Limoges to interview Kelly and Kate, who actually moved to France with their horses. So this interview is for anyone who is thinking about doing the same, but also maybe if you're just interested in horse culture, what horse culture is like in France, or maybe you're not moving horses, but once you come to France, you'd like to have horses or be involved in that. I think there's a lot of great tidbits in this interview for anyone who falls into that category. And also, the ranch we're going to is called Open Range Ranch. The weather was not great the day we were there, so I wish we had more footage of it to show you, because it was, when I drove up, I felt like I was in Colorado. It was the craziest thing. And when Kate and Kelly were talking to us off camera, they were telling us the story of the French couple that built the ranch before the current owners. They were in love with the idea of the American West and Wyoming and all the things that come along with that. And so they built this ranch to look like that. And I just had this sense of home when I was there, because it was funny. Even you would see the directional signs were in French, but the decorative ones would be in English. And so you'll see we did the interview it was called the Saloon. And it was such a great place to hang out overlooking the indoor arena for the horses. So we did get some footage that I'm excited for you to see, because it really felt like a little piece of the American West in France. And they have 3 cabins. So if it's someplace that you could land to as you're looking for other longer term housing and sort of be immersed in the American West horse culture outside of Limoges in France. Who knew? Today we are at Open Range Ranch with Kelly and Kate, who have been kind enough to talk to us today about their experience bringing their horses with them to France from the US. You would think this is a niche topic, but many of you have actually emailed us about doing this. You want to move to France and you're not going to leave your horses behind just like anyone else. So we met them at the beginning of their planning process last year when they booked a consult with us, and we were just super impressed with their research and planning skills and ambition, and that they were going to get all this done. And here we are a few months later, and we're going to show you some footage later. This ranch is amazing, and talk about how this all worked. So, all right, without further ado, so thank you guys for sharing your time and your experience with all of the Bag Outbound viewers.
Yeah.
Okay, so to start with, just like a little background, where did you guys move from in the US, and like what drew you to France?
Well, we moved from New York, and France was more of we looked at a bunch of different countries to try to pick, a lot to do with the weather and the different opportunities there. And with Kelly's work, France kind of worked best.
Yeah, funny enough, when we first started the idea of moving, the first country we were looking at was Slovenia.
Oh, really?
But then we broadened the search. We created, here's all the boxes that have to be checked. And as we got to it, nowhere's 100%, but France checked the most boxes. And then we started digging into what's it like in France. And then it was all downhill from it.
Oh, that's awesome. That was a little bit how it was for us, because we had a few countries on the map. And then, although I think my heart was in coming to France to start with, actually. So I say we looked at other ones, but
yeah, you can say that now.
I say that now, yeah. Just to make it look like we did our due diligence. But really, I always wanted to be in France. Okay, so to start with, how many horses did you bring to France with you?
2. Yep, 2.
Two horses. Okay, and is there anything... I don't know how to ask this, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not a horse person, even though I grew up in rural Texas. Not meaning that I like horses, I just haven't been around them that much. So is there anything, can only certain horses be brought to France? Is there anything? No?
No, okay. So it's not about breed. Okay. Any horse can come. It's about their medical condition. That's going to be the disqualifier. Okay. If there is a disqualifier, that's going to be the disqualifier. So if they have the horse people will know what this is, but they have to have their Coggins tests, right? To get in here. If a horse has Coggins, that's the easiest descriptor. That's like horse aids in a way. So they have to, if a horse has Coggins, most of the time they're put down just because of, or they have to be so isolated, like miles away from any other horse because of the transmission. So that has to be cleared, and just general good health for the transport and those kinds of things. So really, breed doesn't matter, but health can be the disqualifier.
Okay, awesome. And so what kind of paperwork was involved in like certifying their medical conditions and health and getting them through customs?
Yeah, that's gonna be you.
So we did the Coggins, and we did the through an agency. So we went through an agency. So they did most of the paperwork, and they did contact our vet themselves, and then had a vet of their own that also did the paperwork there. So I didn't really have to provide too much information. The one thing that was, our horses are a bit older, so the one thing they did have to be microchipped, kind of like you microchip a dog.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So we had to get the microchips done, and then the Coggins done. The Coggins had to be done within 30 days of them leaving. So that was kind of like a tight turnaround, because you have to make sure they get the lab information back, and then it has to be right. The first time they did it, they forgot to put the microchip number on it, so they had to come out and do it again.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the agency did take care of almost everything.
Okay.
So that was nice.
Okay, so you didn't have to provide them with a lot.
No, just the Coggins, and they asked me to fill out like a form, but it just really had basic stuff about the horses, their age, their breed, what they, their coloring and stuff like that. So it wasn't too bad.
Okay. And so, I've been wondering this ever since we talked to y'all. How did they come? Did they fly? Did they go on a boat?
They flew.
They fly.
Oh, they flew?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know why. I got to find a horse plane now on the internet.
Oh yeah, they. This might be getting ahead, but the company that we used, they picked them up at our farm, drove them to JFK.
Yeah.
They did everything. They stay there for a few hours, and they sent us a video of them walking them on the plane. They could have cared less. They just walked right on the plane, got in their little stall, and they fly them over.
Wow, so it's just like a cargo plane, I guess, right?
Yeah, it looked like. It's not a dumpy plane by any means. It's, and people like. So there were like our two horses, and then there was a horse next to them, and that horse, there was obviously a lot of money in that horse. That was a very nice, big, like show racehorse. And then there's our two little
guys. That horse was like this much taller than ours.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So maybe, I guess this is something that happens more than you might think.
Yeah.
For competitions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's like we were into with the agency, is some agencies wouldn't work with our horses because they don't have like passports through like a show agency. So they just, they didn't want to really work with ours. So the one that we used, did anybody's horses. So that worked out well for us.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's something to think about asking when you're trying to find an agency. Because I'm assuming too, the agencies are probably like regional. You would need to, or do you have any?
Well, the one we use, supposedly, we think they can do it anywhere in the country.
Yes, because they do domestic flights as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because some shipping companies, it's like, for shipping goods and different things like that, you have to be close to the port they use or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
They seem to do it everywhere, and they were by far the most responsive. They've been in business for a very long time. They were great to work with.
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys don't mind sharing, I know the next question usually is people are like, how much is this going to cost? Could I do it?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing a range of?
Comfortable,
yeah. Okay.
So total for both of them, all them doing all the vet paperwork and sending us their microchips and picking them up at our house and delivering them to the ranch from Belgium was $17,113.
And that's both. That's all. That's for both horses.
Oh my gosh. That seems really reasonable to me. Based on how much I know, like some of the private flights cost for dogs, that feels, and there's less transportation involved. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's probably really encouraging for people to hear, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's everything. We did run into a little bit of a hiccup because we didn't ourselves live here yet. We had them shipped before we moved, so they couldn't be considered pets. So we then had to pay some additional tax, but it was $2,300.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad.
So, and that would be avoided if you were able to, if you were already able to establish your residency here and ship them at the same time. Do you have any idea, sorry, you may not know this, but
is there like a time, you know how like you have to ship your own personal goods within a year? Do you have any idea if there's like a time limit on that?
There might be. So what they had done is they'd email asking me for an electricity bill or something like an apartment lease and a copy of my passport. So I'm like, here's my passport. I haven't moved there yet. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
So then they just had to refigure the price.
So that brings me to also like, how far ahead did you have to plan for this and book it? And, you know, because timing, timing and logistics during these moves.
Yes.
So they had told us that, you know, just, a few weeks notice that would be enough, but we did it months out. So I started looking in June, and then in July, we kind of found the company, and then we moved them in October, the beginning of October.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, you've got to balance that between, I guess it might be different if you're boarding them off property, but you guys had them on your property, you also had to sell your house, so like, that's a lot of juggling.
Yeah.
So is that part of why they came ahead since you were selling your property?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Big part.
Yeah. So that's probably also good for people to know is that, you know, while you're going to probably have to pay an additional fee, there is a way, if you need to sell your house and they need to go before you, that like, I mean, here where we are, they just received the horses and started boarding them?
Yeah. So I came to visit when they were supposed to be shipped. So I was here when they came in, and we, got them all in their pastures and got they were calm. They didn't care one bit. They're just like, oh, there's grass.
I was going to say, to be clear, they could have cared less that she was here. They got
We're going to say they did. That they were really happy to see you.
There's grass. We don't care.
They walked off the transport and just started eating the grass that was right there. And then we put them in a paddock, and they just did their thing. But no, so they would, I think they would have, picked them up, or like, met them for everything without us, but we wanted to be here just in case there was any type of issue. So
it feels better too. Like, I'm sure I would sleep better knowing, like, okay, they're all tucked in. They're okay. No, I totally get that.
And there's different paddocks on the property, and they're the one they're in now. It's right in front of the cabin we're renting here.
Oh, you're kidding!
We just walk out the door. They're right there, and we can.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome! This place, I'm just so impressed with this place. We'll show you around, but just the layout and where the cabins are and the horses, it's just very, I don't know, welcoming.
So how did you choose this place? Did you look at other boarding places? Did you, tell us about that process.
So in the kind of earlier stages, part of our research was I came over for a trip to do a tour of the country, so to speak. And so as part of that, I just Googled horse boarding in France.
That is where you start.
And a couple of options popped up, and this one popped up in my car route of where I was going around the country. And so I emailed, and they responded, and I set up a time, and I came and visited. And funny enough, the current owners bought the ranch, I think 2 months before I had emailed them. So they were super excited. Showed up. They're a wonderful couple, Rick and Rochely, and they're from the Netherlands. And they, thank God, they speak fluent English, which makes things a lot easier for us transitioning. And I came and toured, and that was it. As soon as I showed up and we walked around and they showed the facilities, it was over.
I know, because it feels like once you see this place, I'm like, what would you be looking for beyond it? So it's like, let's just simplify my life. Okay. Was there anything in particular that you were really looking for here in France, in boarding facilities that you guys had in the U.S.? Like, how did the boarding? I know. Can you?
So the boarding facilities like in the U.S., they're all so different. It's kind of like
apples
very
to oranges.
individual. So it's we've kept our horse at one where, they have a very nice barn, but they didn't have, the covered arenas, the, indoor facilities and trails and stuff like that. So this is the nicest place we've kept our horses at in the sense that there's trails. You don't have to haul your horses if you want to go trail riding. They have, someone who helps take care of them, because sometimes in the U.S., when you board your horse somewhere, the care is more like teenagers kind of taking care of your horses.
Stopping by after school. And,
So it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but, they have a professional staff.
Oh, that's his full-time job? Like he's here?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
He speaks fluent English. He, is very helpful, and they're very kind to the horses. We've also had problems where people were not nice to our animals, and that's an issue. But they are super kind to them here, and it's just wonderful. But I mean, the difference is mostly, I would say, it is significantly cheaper to board here.
Yes.
Oh, really? Like
Yes.
percentage-wise, what would you say?
Oh gosh, I would say we're say like 40% cheaper to board here than in the U.S. Maybe even more, 50%.
Probably more.
Like 50%
because-
cheaper. 50% cheaper with more included in the rate.
Yes.
Because Francois takes care of everything. He's out there every morning with them. Which arguably I think they might like him more than us now. So that's a problem for another day. But
Yeah, that's actually our lives too. We usually say we spend about 50% less here than we did living in Boulder County, which I know is a high cost of living area, but still, literally 50% less, and I feel like we live better.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's funny. So I guess it's
That applies for horses
that applies
too.
for horses too, evidently.
Now the farrier visit and the vet visits do cost about the same so far.
About the same. Okay, so that's good to plan on too. Yeah. And how's vet care felt? Like, how is that similar, different?
It seems about the same. So we haven't really had to have much care yet. So when the horses come here, they do have to get a passport. Okay. So we had to have a vet come out to do the chart for it. So, she came out. We didn't have to haul them in, so that's wonderful.
That's nice. Yeah.
And she did speak a bit of English, so that worked fine. And
But also, the folks here are Francois and the others.
Yeah,
they help with all of that. So
Yeah,
the
so
language barrier and that kind of thing
I
is.
just told Francois, I'm like, hey, we need this for the horses' passports, and he makes the appointment and everything.
Oh, amazing.
So I don't make the appointment. He just told me, oh, they'll be at the barn around 2, 3. So that's.
I want to move to this place and get a horse now.
They've got room. I mean, they've got room for horses. They got plenty of room.
So that brings me to my next question. As we were driving here, I was noticing we passed, you know how France doesn't really have billboards on the auto routes, but they'll have like the little illustrations for the towns, like advertising this town. And what's the name of the town? Pompadour. And there's like a picture of a horse. And I was like, oh, is this area of the country known for horses and riding? Yes. Oh, okay. Just to emphasize kind of the greater area, if people are thinking, I have horses, I want to be with the horse people. So would you say kind of like the greater area around Limoges is a good area to focus on?
Yes. Well, we did a lot because of the weather, because you don't want to be somewhere too terribly hot for our horses. That was one of the big things for us. We didn't want them to be miserable, and then we didn't want them to be in too rocky and steep of an area. So this kind of does work out well.
Yeah, the terrain here is very similar to what we had in upstate New York, rolling hills, which we like that topography. The weather's wonderful, green, but this area, in terms of housing and opportunity, there's no shortage of, and Limoges is not far away. So if you want to have kind of a city life, it's a wonderful small city. It's size-wise be comparable to like Syracuse, New York. So it's got the urban feel, but then you can get to a place like this in about 30 minutes.
What's horse culture like here?
Oh man, so people love their horses. So here it's really it's very much a community here. So we even have a WhatsApp group chat. We're called Open Rangers. And so everybody that kind of has a horse here does stuff. So we're on the WhatsApp, and people are here every day with their horses. They're in the arena. They're in the round pen, internal round pens, training. We had a Christmas party here. We've only been here a month, and they say, "Hey, come to the Christmas party." We're up here in this room.
There's a horse trainer just the next home over.
Yeah.
So he comes over and does training for people, and then also on the WhatsApp group, people will post if they're going to have something done for their horse. So if you want to get in on it, like somebody was doing professional photographs, and somebody else was doing like chiropractic visits and stuff like that. So then you could, ask them if they, if you can be part of that visit or something like that. So it's very helpful.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's something actually we talked about in you guys' consult, but I think is like a universal thing, is that when you have something that's a big part of your life that you enjoy, I think sometimes when you think about moving to France, I mean, we're all thinking about the markets and just, the pace of life and the beauty. Like, there's so many things, but it makes it really hard to pick a place, because all of France has beautiful architecture and culture and good markets and food. And so I think having something like this that then quickly connects you to other people who are also involved in something that you enjoy doing, I think it's the shortest route to finding your community and people like in France.
Well, and it actually, funny enough, this place is changing, like, how we're going to live in France ultimately. So when, because we were bringing the horses over, we're thinking, okay, we're going to have to find a horse property to buy.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a barn, we're going to have all this stuff.
Yeah.
But after being here, our horses are just going to stay here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so now we don't have to buy a property with a barn and pastures and all that stuff. So it completely changes our approach to what kind of home we're going to buy, and it just blows up the possibilities for us.
Oh my gosh.
So a place like this does that for us.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's super exciting. And so so the takeaway there being, even if you do not have horses, thinking about what it is you want to spend your time doing, what makes you happy, what it is, that you still, because you'll still want those things to be a part of your life in France. I've been using this person's example a lot. I don't know if she'll recognize herself or not, but like she does open water swimming, like out in the ocean, right? So when she was trying to find, and she wanted to live in a smaller town, and so she did her scouting trip, and she looked up associations on the Marie websites beforehand, and she only stopped at towns that had like groups already there that did open water swimming together because it's safer, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
Then she would she coordinated being able to go out on a swim, as she was touring. And then it was that's how she made the decision of which town, because she knew there was something she wanted to do and people that she could do it with there. And that was kind of the part of helped make the selection between, several different places that all could have been nice, but she knew that she had this thing waiting for her. So I think it's a good way to approach in general. But what other things do you want to just share with viewers to know about if you're bringing your horses, the horse culture here, that anything that I didn't think of to ask?
It's daunting at first.
Yeah.
But it takes time and research, but there are no shortage of resources and people that will help you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I said, I just Googled this place, but we fell into this world where everybody is so accommodating and so open and receptive and helpful that so much we're regular viewers and watchers of your videos and so we were kind of prepared mentally, we knew all these stressors were going to be in place, but being here has actually, not that they don't exist, but it's been able to kind of ease that.
Oh, I think so. Takes
being here alone, just us. It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
We have friends as soon as we showed up. Rick and Roshley are friends, and all the people here are so nice. And so
it does. I mean, I think that makes all the difference. It kind of smooths the edges a little. And I always say we can all do hard things if we have the right support.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a good example of that. Of course, you mentioned it. They have a website here at I said it wrong last time, Open Range.
Open
Range Ranch. So if you're looking and you want to get in touch, then you can find it on the interwebs. Okay, well, thank you for watching. And you guys say a bientôt.
A bientôt.